Happy Tuesday to you. Having watched tape for the last 48 hours on UCLA, very impressed with them as a whole. Having the opportunity to watch them play a team like Utah, a team like Colorado, a team like Washington State, and play really good games against teams that we feel are very, very quality teams within our league and play so well. You come away impressed, and it starts defensively. You really know that when you play in a Jim Moore team that the defense is going to be exceptional, and it really starts with their defensive line. It's great to see Eddie Vanderdoes really back healthy after last year's injury, and really is the rock in the middle there as a 325-pound man. He's a load to block, and then you got Tack McKinley on the outside, who's one of the most dangerous edge rushers that we have faced this year. 10 sacks on the year right now. He's really the first guy that you actually have to game plan for. He's that dangerous in protection. Inside backer wise, I've been very impressed with Jalen Brown, who's leading them in tackles and doing a great job, and Kenny Young, who actually they're bringing a lot with pressure, is their second leading sack guy on the team with 4. Back end guys, if it seems like we've heard the name Goforth and Wadood and Moreau year after year after year. They've been around forever. You can see the experience that's back there. They're averaging only 195 yards a game, giving up pass-wise. An exceptional group, and will challenge us. Offensively, have changed a little bit from the beginning of the year to now. They're really focusing on the passing game, and I don't blame them. They look at the skill that's outside right now, and they're doing a tremendous job. It's one of the reasons they're one of the top 15 passing teams in the country, averaging 316 yards a game. And when you mention the name like Andrew, Lasley, Walker, Massington, Ishmael Adams, you throw Nate Aisi in there as one of the better tight ends we face, you can see why they're doing such a good job. Credit to Mike coming in as a backup quarterback and doing a tremendous job in that situation. For us, this is the next game for us, and it's an important game for us. We have to be able to take this game and treat it just like we did the entire month of October and the last 2 games in November. It's the next game. We understand it's a special game for both universities as well as this city. I mean, we know how special this rivalry is, and we're honored to be a part of it. It's one of the better rivalries in the country and in the history of college football. Injury-wise, Josh Fatu has an ankle that will limit him, and we held him out today. We'll probably have to hold him out tomorrow. He's about 50-50 right now for the game at best. Stevie, we limited today because of the knee. He came out of the game okay, but just precautionary there. Biggie, Iman Marshall, still a little bit of tight hamstring, made it through the game great. Warrior, but we'll watch him through the week. Lockett came back and got a little bit of activity this week, just trying to get the rust off. We'll see where he is at the end of the week. Platt is a little bit sick. We should get him back and going full speed tomorrow. Porter we held with an ankle that he's had over the past couple of weeks. He re-aggravated it in the game, so we limited him a little bit today. Rojo with a knee bruise that we limited him a little bit today. Sed and Justin, ankles are looking good. They're getting back to full speed. Sed looked really good today, being able to, he looks about 90-95% look good. And Deontay still is battling that knee, that sprained knee. So a lot of bumps and bruises right now. That's what you expect when you're hitting game 11, and hopefully we can get a little bit healthier as we go through the week. With that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
So when you were a young man, before you got to USC, whether it was as a kid or growing up in a football family, what was your first memory of this rivalry?
Oh my goodness! I remember the Trojan band, over and over and over again playing, and just the pageantry of the game, whether it was at the Coliseum or whether it was at the Rose Bowl, it was just bigger than life. I mean, it was the game that you just watched, and there's several of them like that. The rivalry games are so awesome for college football and for our fans, and that's one of the challenges this week, to be honest with you, is to keep your kids focused on, hey, it's the next game, because it is a great rivalry and it's great for both universities.
It's like this in most games where the team that rushes for more yards wins, but why in this rivalry does it seem like every game the team that rushes for more yards is
if you look up statistically, through any game, usually the people that run the ball and have the fewest turnovers and play good special teams, that's kind of the MO of who wins ball games, and it's no different whether it's UCLA I think both teams, try to be balanced. I know that's our MO. That's what we live by, and it's important. This is one of the better defensive fronts we're going against. And there's two huge people in the middle, and at their edge, they do a great job of, like we've been doing the last couple of games, of setting the edges with those fast kids outside, and Jalen and Kenny are doing a great job in the middle. So it'll be another physical game. There's no question.
Was Soma working with you guys today over there?
Yeah. He's compliance-wise, he's allowed to come out. He's in between teams right now and allowed to come out and get some work. And with some injuries to some backs, ankle-wise, it's very welcomed.
Looked like Mike Goff suited up too today.
Yeah. We've got some injuries on the offensive line and defensive line in Week 11, and it's always good to have a graduate assistant that's also played in the NFL to come out and do a couple things. So. He still can dance. I know that. He's pretty talented.
Clay, after you guys walked off the field in Utah, dramatic, tough loss, to where you are now, if you could point to one thing that changed in this gap, what would it be?
I think the leadership on all fronts, between the staff, between the players, how they just handled, how they tried to just keep working, stay poised, don't panic, just try to get better. And that's what we saw. I mean, the team saw it from going from Alabama to Stanford to Utah. They felt that they were improving. We lost a game in 16 seconds. We were heartbroken, but we knew if we kept on going, we had something special. And you look up at 6 games later, and we put ourselves in contention for a Pac-12 South title. Now, we've got to go do our job this week. It's another big game towards our season.
Juju said that some of the coaches talked to the players today about having to refocus coming off the UW game. What did you guys talk to them about?
No, we just talked about it's the same preparation. Every week it's the same preparation. Focus on your preparation. The preparation that took you into last game in a hostile atmosphere and a game that was ultra hyped and that had possible weather, that had all these distractions that could have happened. You just focused on your preparation and you focused on your job. Is it any different when you get to a rivalry game? And that's what we were trying to show them is, no, it's not. Focus on what has helped us win over the last 6 weeks, and that's just the preparation towards the game, focusing on the job.
Next week, because you play late, your chances for the conference for the Pac-12 South might be decided based on how those other games go. How do you plan for something like that?
It's just the next game. I think this team is focused on, taking it one game at a time and winning each game and making that the most important thing in life to us. And we can't control the outside factors, just as we couldn't control the crowd noise last week or the wind blowing or the size of the stadium or the opponent that we play. Our job is to show up and play and do our job. And that's what you keep on preaching. We've got 18 to 21-year-olds, so we don't assume anything. We just reteach it each and every day.
Have you talked to Pat Hayden today at all? Or?
I haven't, Scott. I heard, Coach Tim was telling me that he had another episode, and so I look forward to reaching out to him tonight and making sure he's okay and sending our prayers and our love out to him.
What were your conversations with Caleb Wilson like last year when his dad and you guys decided to part ways?
Yeah, great kid, unbelievable kid, great family, and good football player. And we always want the best situation for every kid. And he was in a tight end position where we have some good players there, and kind of stacked in the same position at his class, and had an opportunity. He was a walk-on here, had the opportunity to have a scholarship at UCLA. I mean, how do you not hold a kid back from having his school paid for and having the opportunity to play? Chris was a member of our football family, and Caleb was great to us while he was here. And he's a quality kid. Wish him nothing but the best. I'm glad to see him playing.
With Chris and the personnel change, what was the rationale behind going in a different direction like you guys did?
Say that one more time.
With his dad and kind of making a change there, what was the rationale behind the change?
Well, when we had it back, there's hard decisions that's made anytime that you change staff, and you only get to be the head coach at USC one time. And there were some individuals that I had worked with in the past that at certain positions that I wanted to make a change. And you look up and we had 3 different coordinators, and we had 5 new position coaches, so the changes were made. They were hard decisions because you love those guys, you worked with them, but there were changes that you have to make as a coach for the best interest of your football team.
Clay, you guys, for you guys in this matchup, it's sort of polar opposites where you guys are obviously have won 6 in a row, and UCLA, just beat Oregon State. What do you do to kind of keep the players focused?
Well, one of the things you better realize is you better look behind the lines a little bit and read between the lines. They play a Utah team, they lose by 7 and score 44 points. They go play Washington State and lose by 6 at Washington State and play a hell of a game. They go to Colorado and make it a hell of a game versus another top 25 team. And you look at their overall schedule, they play extremely well at home. So when we look at it as coaches, you look at it and say this is a quality team that can have a lot better record if 1 or 2 plays go their way. So you better do your job. And the fact of the matter is, in the Pac-12, I don't care what team it is. You don't do your job. You don't bring your A game. You're going to get beat in this league.